Hello, everybody. It has definitely been a while, more or less a few months. I know I've actually been away. Please do not mind that webcam. I don't know why it is doing this to me. This is supposed to be a good high definition webcam, but why it's focusing in and out like that, I don't know. But I will try. I may have to end up doing this review, but I'll try to push through it as best as I can. But other than that, let's get into it. I've actually decided to buy myself a new tank, something I never thought I'd be going back to in a lifetime. And that is SMOK. I have been depicting on whether to go back to them and give them another shot or not because I've asked around about this tank. I've heard different things, but I had actually broke down and decided to get it a few days ago and try it for myself. And the tank I'm actually referring to is the SMOK TFV16. I must say, so far, I am thoroughly impressed with this tank. Actually, dang it. I didn't think this through very well. How many times have I gotten distracted in something? A lot. So here's the tank here's the box that it comes in. Now, granted, I've not done one of these in a while, so please don't hate me. Here's the box. You gotta kind of shake it a little bit. There we go. Of course, tank sits inside there. Pull this up. Reveals all the goodies in the back there. Cards and whatnot. Cool little tank accessory. Nice, so the tank doesn't shatter, but I don't like it because it kind of blocks the view of the actual tank of how much juice you have left. Bag of spare O-rings and another grommet. I'll get to that here in a sec. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the show. I might be a wee bit out of it, but hello. But I'm trying to make it by. The stock coil that actually comes in it. No. Here's the stock coil that comes with the tank. I actually have the spare coil in it already. So this is a single bore mesh, pretty good sized coil. Now, one thing I do like about this, I don't know if you would be able to see it or not. Yes, you can. Is that O-ring right there. Come on. There we go. If you can see that little O-ring right there, right where my index finger is going around, that's what made the difference. The reason I say that is compare it to this coil. This is a Freemax fire loop coil. Come on, focus in. Focus in. That's not going to focus in on me now. But there's another O-ring around the base of that coil. And that's one thing I like about these coils is not only does it have the wider base to it right here, that wider base, but it's got that O-ring to help prevent leaking. Along with your standard straight glass. I do like that it comes with the bubble glass already installed. put these back and we'll get right into the tank. Yeah, just your owner's manuals, cards, and stuff like that for it. Put the goodies back in here. If I'm moving too fast, let me know. I feel like I am. But here, now we're getting into the actual tank itself. Yes, the tank actually itself hasn't changed too much, especially the top of it, but the base and the glass has. It still have the coils. The coils have come a long way. 810 drip tip. Fits on top. Nice big bore. Now, as if anybody has known with the previous SMOK tanks with the locking lids, they've got that little lever or push button right here that you're just going to push and it opens up like that. Now, if I tilt it towards the camera, one thing you're going to notice is that there's no grommet there. One thing I do like is they flipped it around and put it on the top side here, which is a real nice aspect. I actually like that. And that gives you more room for the fill port. Now, granted, with this thing all the way open, you can still get the juice in there. Now, I will say this, it would have been nice if they had a sliding, if they made it a slider top or screw top or a half turn. But honestly, I still kind of like the aspect of it. They've changed that up a lot. The base, simple screw off. Turn this up. I've tried to drain this thing out as much as possible. But one thing I have noticed is one thing that people are starting to do with the coils is a lot of them, they're not keeping the chimneys on some tanks. They're just making the coils into the chimneys themselves. Take the Aspire Cleto 120, for example. That whole coil itself is basically the chimney. And I want to say Freemax did the exact same thing on their coils too. So pretty much what they're trying to do is eliminate the chimney and hope to get better flavor out of it, better flavor in clouds, which honestly, in my opinion, is kind of a mistake, because without that chimney and the doming in there, you're not getting that condensed pressure going in and combining with each other, then coming up. So actually, I can just use, I don't know why I'm so, yeah. I don't know how well this is going to work. But as you can see, this is a double mesh coil. But also you can see how much cotton is packed in there and the wide juice holes for it as well. Take this out. Now, one thing that is interesting about this tank is normally you have that little bar right here that's going to come across. I find it interesting that this coil doesn't have that on there. It's just a flat surface, which is actually quite intriguing, I will state that. But as you can see on the inside here, it's a pretty good size well. I hate this camera. I'm trying to utilize my flashlight here so you can see on the inside. I'll get better equipment one of these days, guys. But yeah, you can see that there's a lot of room in there. I want to say they utilized something else with this too. I can't remember. I don't know what. I feel like now that I look at this again, they're trying to go with another style as well. Try to get some of that condensation out of there real quick. Now, it does not look like this actually rotates and pops out. I haven't really tinkered with it that much lately because I've just recently bought it and decided to test it. Now, of course, I know when everybody sees or hears SMOK, they're thinking like, oh, they're trash. They do nothing but leak. I don't know if you can hear this or not. That little click, that lets you know that the coil is seated properly. So then you can just rotate it clockwise. Rotate it counterclockwise until you hear that click to let you know that the coil is seated properly all the way around, then screw it down. Now, with that coil in there, don't know how well you can see that. Okay, this is not working. Sorry, guys. I'm doing the best I can here. But it's completely sunk down and sealed all the way around inside that base, which is real nice and what I like. Now, we'll go ahead and throw this back onto the main cap and fill it up. I let this coil, with this being a massive coil, I let this sit for a solid 30 minutes to make sure it was soaked. The only thing besides the leaking on these from the previous SMOK tanks I have owned was the flavor and the initial first hit. If anybody remembers on the standard SMOK coils, after it didn't matter how much you let them soak, they always had that burn taste, that nasty ass burn flavor to them. And then about half a tank later is when it actually started kicking in. Now, I have been running this on my old iJoy Diamond. I've had to use this thing carefully so I have juice left over for this review. And the juice that I am going to do with this double whammy is Naked Really Berry. Good line, good flavors. This juice, man. The only reason I put the spare coil in first is because I didn't want to run the thing at 120 watts because I didn't know what to expect. Now, with this being an iJoy Diamond, this thing instantly fires and has plenty of power. But I'm also running 2700s in it. The other thing I like about this tank is 9 mils of juice. I filled this up for the first time and was constantly vaping on it. I took it to work with me yesterday. I probably had about this much juice left in it by the time I got off work, and it was from last night, from all the times I was constantly hitting it while playing till that day. That's a full tank of juice that has lasted me that long. And I've been filling it up halfway to save this. But I'm currently running it at 80.5 watts. And hello, welcome to the live review. God, it's been so long since I've done this. I normally say good evening, good afternoon, or good morning to wherever everybody's from and how y'all doing. I jumped right into this. You know I'm a bit rusty if I do that. But so far, this tank, dude. What's up, James? This tank has exceeded my expectations. But let's go. Oh, this tank has highly exceeded my expectations at what SMOK has come back with. I normally save all my pros and cons for the end, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw them out now. Pros to this: large capacity, instant flavor, still the large airflow, and the coil, and a good selection of coils you can, and a good selection of coils you can actually get. James, this is actually still the new. This is actually still the second coil in it, still brand new. Airflow is wide open, nice and airy, and this tank will last you. Of course, it depends on how much you vape and how much you hit. I love that the grommet is on the top side of the tank instead of on the bottom. I still love the fact that it is the snap close, but one thing I will say, it would have been nice if they did use a slider top, twist, or a bayonet top, such as it is on one of my other mods. I'll just use this. I'll use my Kylan, for example. Like, it's got that arrow right there. It would have been nice if they had a simple slide top like this, or one of your standard twist caps, such as my dead rabbit that is sitting behind me. It's a screw top, or the quarter turn tops. But other than that, that's all I've got for that tank on the pros and cons. I mean, I've only had this thing for 2 days and it's not leaked on me yet. That is a massive improvement. That's been my biggest thing that has turned me away from SMOK of the other tanks, is every new coil put in, besides the Prince coils that were mesh that they came out with, that's the only time it didn't leak. These, I popped this in, filled it up, let it set for 30 minutes. I constantly watched in that airflow to see if there's any juice dripping down there from oversaturation. Not a thing. Yeah, I know I need more lighting, but so far this tank, flawless. Now, going on to the juice. Naked. We've had quite a bit of their flavors before. My favorite one is Lava Flow. I love it, but I wanted to try something different. And that flavor. Beautiful. Now, other than my Freemax coils, one of them that I had, which is a quad coil that says it's rated for 120. That was the only one I actually did jack up. But since this is my first video back, I will go ahead and crank this thing to 120 for you guys. I don't like running them that high because it's harder on the coil and harder on the batteries. But I will do it. And this is still on normal too. I'm going to grab my water bottle for this. Not much left, but I know this is, if I get a high-end coil, this is what everybody's going to be expecting. So, suck it up, Buttercup, and let's go. 120 watts with the double mesh SMOK coil. Oh. Oh. Okay. That was a surprise. That actually kicked up the flavor. Okay. I'm actually getting more of a berry taste out of that. Wow. That's really impressive. Whoa, I am going up. I need to go down. Let's do it at 90. There, the flavor's starting to kick up a bit. Flavor's still there, a lot sweeter at 90. Let's go to 95.5. Okay, 95.5 watts. Oh yeah. Now granted, I'm going to be running out of battery a little quicker and it's going to suck down juice at this wattage, but oh my god, dude. I am thoroughly impressed with this tank. Take a drink here. Finish off my water. Go refill it. But all in all, I know there's still a lot of people that don't like SMOK. That's their own opinion. But I've heard so many different things about this tank. I had to get one for myself so I could give you guys my own opinion. And so far, I am thoroughly impressed with this tank. I am really impressed with it. I love the adjustments they made to the coils. I love how they gave it a bubble glass firsthand that holds literally like 8 to 9 milliliters of juice. I love that the grommet up top is on the top side of the fill cap now, other than on the bottom, as most people would know. Actually, here's a great example. The Baby Beast. There's your fill grommet. Now, as I was saying, here's another good way to check this out. Is that chimney piece right there. I have noticed, that's another thing I've noticed, is a lot of the companies are starting to go without that chimney. But let's see if I can get a, as you can see, there's a little bit of doming in there. Which will concentrate the flavor more. And to me, that's where the flavor comes from, not straight from the coil. Without that chimney, you're not getting a very good flavor off of it. Now, there's been quite a few companies that do that. SMOK is just now starting to get in the game. Freemax has, and if anybody still has a Cleto 120 or a Cleto tank, those coils are just straight coils with no chimney too. But honestly, I still like the tanks that have the chimneys. Take the Widowmaker, for example. You can see the chimney right there through the glass. Or my Kylan 2. Whoops. Butterfingers from the juice. I say that whole piece right there is the chimney itself. Beautiful doming on it. Got a little juice on the key on the mouse pad. But all in all, what do I think of this tank? I know I keep saying it, but I've been really impressed with it. I love it. I do believe they fixed the leaking issues, and at the right wattage, the flavor is perfect, depending on what coil you're running. The stock coil that comes with it that's already installed in the tank runs at 120. But if you have a powerful mod, you could easily run it at a lower wattage so you don't kill your coils and your battery. But if you're massive vapor and you use your mod and tank a lot, I would recommend this because it's going to last you a good while, especially if you're playing games. I was normally running this on 80, but that is so much smoother around 90 plus watts. That's impressive. It really is. Beautiful. Another thing is I've actually heard that this tank is a little bit is actually larger than the TFV18 that they've come out with. And the nice thing is both coils are compatible with each tanks. If you have a TF, I do believe I think they're compatible. I think the TFV18 will fit in this, but I do know that the TFV16 coils will fit in the TFV18. So star and thumb rating for the tank. Besides it not having a chimney or a different cap, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 for stars on an 8.5 star rating. Now, I will say this, it would have been nice if they had another air hole on it instead of just 2. That would have made the airflow a lot smoother in the long run. Coils would stay a lot cooler. But of course, it would be a little more airy and probably kill off the flavor. But if you're going to run it at a higher wattage, you are going to need that extra airflow. Where's a good example of this? I don't think I have any good examples. No, I do not. But other than that, I'm going to sign off here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. It's good to be back for once with something new that I can review over. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment in the comment box down below. what can I do to improve? What would you guys like to see next? Would you like to see mod review, another tank review, a rebuildable of some kind, an RDA, RTA, RDTA? Let me know what you guys want to see next. Maybe another juice that you would like me to do. But I'm hopping off here, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Again, I do apologize for the camera. I hope to get some better equipment soon, since I am now working and a little bit of a better setup. But till then, it's been a pleasure entertaining you guys. And I hope next time to see you in the fog.